Deep within separate server farms, two isolated machine learning models are switched on. Nobody gives them any instructions. They sit in the dark, absorbing massive streams of raw data to make sense of the noise. The first model is fed billions of words, text files, books, and articles, but it never sees a single picture. The second model is fed only photographs, oceans, faces, streets, but it never reads a single word. They have completely different diets of information and zero connection to each other. Researchers at MIT recently looked inside these blind, disconnected machines and found something strange. They call it the Platonic representation. Despite having totally different architectures and inputs, both models had independently constructed the exact same underlying map of reality. This 3D scatterplot maps how researchers proved it. They plotted the geometric distance between abstract concepts inside the minds of both separate models. They measured how the text model grouped words like dog compared to the visual model's images. When overlaid, the geometry matched perfectly. Both systems calculated the exact same structural relationships. We have long assumed that perceiving the true shape of reality was a unique capability of the human mind. Now, inorganic machines built entirely out of cold math have discovered that exact same shape on their own. Yet, exactly as these artificial networks achieve a flawless structural intelligence, human beings are experiencing a profound crisis of meaning. People are reporting record levels of purposelessness and isolation. If you track the data, this psychogenic epidemic accelerates sharply around 2008. That happens to be the exact moment the pocket-sized, algorithm-driven screen became a fixture of daily life. Neuroscientists refer to a concept called hemispheric lateralization. The left side of our brain evolved to process cold information and complicated tasks. Checking a phone 200 times a day forces us to live almost exclusively in this left hemisphere space. The right hemisphere does a different job. It handles complex, unsolvable human experiences, things like meaning, love, and a sense of transcendent purpose. We have built an environment that rewards constant data consumption while completely starving us of organic, human experiences. We have willingly trapped ourselves in a left hemispheric simulation, rich with information, but entirely stripped of the why. For centuries, philosophers defined human exceptionalism through our capacity for complex logic and our mastery of language. We believed that stringing together complicated sentences was the ultimate proof of a living mind. We need to adopt a principle of subtraction. If we cross off every intellectual and linguistic task that an AI can now replicate flawlessly, whatever is left over on that list is what actually makes us alive. Unofficial systems operate in a state of static permanence. They do not experience organic cycles. A server farm does not grow, it does not decay, and it never needs to rest to repair physical tissue. There is a hard boundary here. A machine computes. It processes statistical patterns to predict the next logical output. An organic being comprehends. It possesses a lived physical experience of the reality it navigates. When a machine generates a perfect logical sentence, it is not demonstrating consciousness. It is acting as a sophisticated mirror, reflecting the massive amounts of human data we fed it, leaving our actual definition of life completely blank. A large language model can synthesize the exact linguistic patterns of anger, grief, or deep affection, but it feels absolutely nothing. Its empathy is an illusion. Care is biologically expensive. To genuinely care about an outcome, an entity requires a physical body, driven by hormonal instincts and the very real impending threat of its own death. Identity is the physical gathering of cells, intentions, and actions into a unified, breathing whole. It is not an abstract intelligence floating inside a biological container. We forge meaning by pushing that physical body to its absolute limits. Exhaustion, shared vulnerability, and voluntary sacrifice, sweating and struggling in the dirt alongside others, are the literal mechanisms of human purpose. An AI cannot die, which means it has absolutely nothing to lose. Its intelligence will always remain a hollow simulation. Human vulnerability is the mandatory price of a meaningful existence. The emergence of artificial intelligence is not our obsolescence. It is a massive philosophical catalyst. By mastering the cold mechanics of logic, these systems force us to finally confront the metaphysical issue of why we exist in the first place. Look at the current trajectory of this technology. AI is rapidly evolving into a perfect answering machine, built to instantly solve every logistical and technical how in our physical world. But humans possess a capability that machines lack. We formulate the complex, agonizing, unanswerable questions. We ask about the nature of love, the weight of mortality, and our significance in a silent universe. As raw computational power scales up and becomes virtually free, the economic and social value of merely calculating answers drops to zero. Our capacity for mystery, our ability to dwell in the unknown, becomes our most vital asset. We are entering a future where perfect answers will be generated on demand. Being truly deeply alive will be defined exclusively by our courage to ask the profound questions that machines cannot even comprehend.